It's the hottest ticket in town, as the best college player in America may be taking to court in Boston here tonight. Duke star Cooper Flagg leading the Blue Devils against Boston College, with many of his family and friends in the crowd. His mom and dad making a 3.5-hour trip down from Maine. He is playing spectacular basketball, and so are the Duke Blue Devils. Great to have you inside Connie Forum on a winter's night. Dave O'Brien alongside Corey Alexander. And Corey, great atmosphere here. Not always the case at BC, but the place is sold out to see the Duke Blue Devils, who've won 11 in a row.
Earl Grant told his team that this would be the absolute best environment they will play in all season long, and it has not disappointed. Of course, they're here to see maybe the best player in the country, and there's many of his hometown friends and family here to watch Cooper Flagg.
Well, he's been playing like it. He leads Duke in every big-time category you can find.
Absolutely. Cooper Flagg is the first player to do this since Ben Simmons back in 2016, where you lead your team in points, assists, steals, blocks, as well as rebounds. So leading in all 5 statistical categories, and it happens to be at the top of the highlight reel as well.
Hey, Boston College without a key player tonight, one of their starters in the 6'8", Elijah Strong. He's not going to play because he has taken ill. That's 11 points, 5 rebounds a game. They need all the help they can get against Flagg and the Duke Blue Devils. When you look back, Duke is BC's first nationally ranked opponent this season. They haven't beaten Duke since 2017. That was their last win against a top 5 opponent as well. Duke was #1 in the country at the time. Right now, they're #3. Auburn's #1. They barely survived Georgia, a 2-point win earlier today. But Iowa State, the #2 ranked team in the country, they lost. So if Duke takes care of business here against Boston College tonight, they're going to be #2 in the poll.
And Iowa State also had the longest winning streak nationally. So with them going down, that now belongs to the Duke Blue Devils. And here they have an opportunity to continue to try to extend the nation's longest winning streak, and as you mentioned, move up to possibly #2 in this week's poll.
Well, Duke coming off a dominating performance against Miami. It's been nothing but that for the Blue Devils as of late. They hit 11 threes in that victory against the Canes.
And they were able to get a great performance from Con Knueppel, who knocked down 22 points, a career high for him. And that is the area of concern for Earl Grant. They know Cooper Flagg is going to be special. He's going to get his points. He's going to fill the stat sheet. But can they limit the others from having big nights?
Per game this season, look at this in the ACC ranks across the board. The lowest you're going to get is #10. Guy can also play excellent defense, 6 double-doubles, 3rd most in the ACC. He is just off the charts. And since he turned 18 years old, he's been even better. The difference between 17 and 18 has been incredible.
Cooper got an opportunity to go home and get in the gym with his dad over the Christmas break, and he's come back a completely different player ever since. Talked about getting a reset, and he absolutely hit the reset button and has been even better since turning 18 years old.
Well, just broke the ACC scoring record with 42 points against Notre Dame. Also put a giant crack in social media with that spectacular dunk against Pitt. That was in the same week. So he's really elevated his profile to what many believe is a guy playing better than anybody in the country right now, as Boston College wins the opening tip, and we are underway here at Conte Forum. Joshua Beadle coming in averaging about 7 points a game. Backing it out here, Deion Brown at 6'3". And a touch here for Jad Benning, the 6'9" product. Trying to get a shot in the air. Shot clock down to 3 on the reverse. Nicely done.
And the perfect start for Boston College, not only because they get a bucket, but more importantly, they don't allow Duke to get out in transition.
Proctor, Knueppel, James, Flagg, and Malowacz, the starting lineup here for Jon Scheyer tonight. Flagg with his first touch, off the window for 2, and he's off to the races.
And when you consider McFarland being in the starting lineup, that gives Cooper Flagg a size advantage over the defender trying to defend him. McFarland are 6'4", but Cooper is 6'9". Once he gets to his spots, he's going to be able to elevate over the top.
Boston College at 9-8. They're just 1-5 in the ACC. Beadle dumping it downstairs, preventing it. That'll roll off the iron. Gets it back, and he has 2 more.
And Benning off to a great start as well. You can see Earl Grant wants to feature his big fella, and they feel as though they can have an advantage going inside against Malawach.
Boston College with a new mix. They've got 3 freshmen and 4 transfers. So a lot of new faces this year. It has not quite clicked yet. Proctor gives it up. Malawach will airmail that one from the corner. And BC wants to push the tempo and has it blocked high out of the sky, and Duke with a great collective effort defensively.
Yeah, Malawach doing the job running the floor, taking away that opportunity.
Proctor got a look and drains a triple.
I'm not sure you can celebrate by going off glass from that angle. However, Tyrese Proctor, in this hostile environment, makes sure to celebrate and let everyone know he's arrived.
He's making 41% beyond the three-point line for the Blue Devils. As a team, they hit 38%. Handoff for Hand Jr. comes in at 15 and 7 rebounds a game. He's a 6'5" guard. Again, Benning with a touch and 2 more.
And I believe that's something we're going to see, a steady diet of Chad Benning throughout this evening. They feel as though he has an advantage against Malawach. Malawach out on the perimeter, having a hard time keeping Benning in front.
So in the early minutes anyway, BC sticking with Duke, going inside to the 6'9" Benning, the grad from Brooklyn. Flag will misfire it close. Malawach has it stripped. And Eagles come away with a loose ball as Brown will push the tempo. Here's Beadle, a grad transfer from Clemson, to set it up from the logo. Working on James. McFarland outside the 3. Here's Hand to launch. He got it for 3-point land. Now BC off to a spirited start here tonight.
And a lot of it has to do with this environment. The best crowd they've had all year. And the guys paying them all for that.
Malawach will slam it down. Nearly lost it. Nearly rolled right out of his hands, but he held on and crushed the dunk.
Malawach grimacing a little bit on the way back. I'm not sure if it's fatigue or if he injured something, but you can tell he's expended a lot of energy early, not only trying to defend Benning, but a big bucket for him on the other end.
Beadle trying to take the corner. Nothing there for him. He loses the dribble. And Jr., top scorer, had a 29-point game against Farley Dickinson earlier this season, so he can be very explosive.
Yeah, the first time a father-son combo ACC Player of the Week. My little bro Donald Hand Sr. in the building watching Jr. get to work against the Blue Devils.
Flag trying to make a move, has it knocked away. Up top, long-range Proctor got a good look. Rebound pops to BC.
And with Malawach down, you're going to have numbers. These are opportunities you got to take advantage of.
Nifty drive there by Joshua Beadle, right past Flag.
But I love the recognition by Beadle. Once he saw Malawach go down, he knew Duke would not be able to get back and match up. Attacks Cooper Flag and gets the easy layup.
Duke, the country's only team scoring at least 80 points a game, holding their opponents to 60. Knipple will drive, nearly gave that one away. Proctor will swing for Flag and a triple. Not there for him.
And if you're Earl Grant, you couldn't have scripted a better start than what you're seeing here in the first 5 minutes of this game. Not only are they leading, but they're getting the basketball and the shots that they want to get.
And with another long one, too strong this time. Well, Earl Grant has done some damage in the ACC tournament, twice surprising the field by playing into the quarterfinal round. Little pull-up pop and knocked down. Sweet touch by Proctor.
And you see Tyrese Proctor, who has been in many difficult environments throughout his 3 years with the Blue Devils, is well prepared to take on what he's seeing tonight from Conte Forum.
He did not score in that big victory over Miami. Came up with no points in about 20 minutes. Brown up high with Flag on him. Brown looking to penetrate. Shut down again. Nice backdoor move for 2.
Just a smart play by Josh Beadle. Not available in the corner, so cuts to the basket, gives Brown an option, and then the reverse layup to boost the lead to 4 for the Eagles.
13-9 Boston College. As the crowd is backing them in a big way, flag will get hit. He took the foul, hit by McFarland with 13:48 to go.
In front of this great crowd here in Conte Forum, the Eagles couldn't have asked for a better start. DJ Hand knocking down the 3 ball, and then Josh Beadle making himself available to reverse to give the Blue Devils, forgive me, the Eagles the lead. The ACC tournament on the floor to check out his son, DJ Hand, the only combination of father and son to ever win ACC Player of the Week award. And Donald Hand Sr. absolutely proud of his young man who has made a huge jump this year for the Boston College Eagles.
Statistically through the roof.
Definitely.
Any different statistics.
But in consideration for ACC Most Improved Player as well.
So Duke at the line. Duke, before this, had been trailing by 4 points for the first time in 9 games. You had to go back to December 8th against Louisville the last time they were even that far behind. And now 13-11. Chaz Kelly in running the point now for Earl Grant. Eagles thrilled with their start. They're finally getting into the starting lineup tonight. Kelly's been struggling beyond the 3-point line. Gives that one up for Brown. Brown inside. Hastings will drop it in. The 6'9" freshman.
And that's been the recipe for success for the Eagles in this game. Get the basketball inside. The points in the paint are absolutely to their advantage. 6 points already for Benning, and then Hastings comes in and has immediate impact.
The 2 bigs. The kick for Flag. He'll take it hard to the paint. The reverse, and no. So did everything except hit the shot.
Surprised Cooper didn't try to dunk that one. Went with the finesse on that possession. Probably would have been better served to try to finish it with a little more aggression.
On the drive, Kelly, a wild shot. Went for his own miss, couldn't get it.
And
Duke on the run.
Numbers for the Blue Devils.
Knipple blocked. Hastings got up high. Here's Flag at 6'9", and he will draw the foul. And hit by Dion Brown, the 6'3" junior, picks up his first.
And Obi, you have to only imagine the nerves. Cooper Flag, of course, playing in front of so many of his family and friends. The entire state of Maine might be in this building tonight. But more importantly for his teammates as well, understanding how important this game is to him and knowing there's opportunity now for them to continue the longest winning streak in the country. On
a blow-by, but no. Duke's missed a number of relatively easy shots here in the early going. BC trying to really take advantage, and a foul on a big hit as Hand Jr. went down hard and in some pain right now on the baseline. Fouled on the drive with 12:17 to go in the half by Mason Gillis, who made sure he didn't get it. So for Gillis, number 1.
DJ Hand driving the baseline, going off of 1 foot. Whenever you go off of 1 foot, you leave yourself susceptible to that type of fall. And so as he gets hit up top, no way to be able to catch his balance. Comes down hard, looks like on that right hip. Hopefully he'll be able to get up and continue on, but right now, needing some attention. Love the fact that he's reaching his hands up for the teammates to help him up.
Ron Groover, one of the officials tonight, a fine crew along with Mark Schnurr and Adam Flory over to our table.
But opportunity to talk with Ron Groover, and Groover coming over and letting us know that because of the timeout, Duke will have the opportunity to pick who the foul shooter will be with the injured player down, and having to come out of the game, Duke can choose who they want to pick. I mean, to shoot the free throws, but it has to be one of the guys that's actually on the floor at the time.
Yeah, and they have picked the big freshman Hastings, who is just 9 for 15 at the foul line.
And Steve Smith out talking to Ron Groover. Groover going over and explaining to them the exact same thing. that he explained to us earlier that Duke has the option to choose as to who they want shooting the free throw. Steve Smith almost spread it out the half court.
I always thought it was one of the more unusual rules in basketball that you can pick the worst foul shooter on the other team after you've just committed the foul.
But here's the thing and the reasoning behind it. Because if you're a bad free throw shooter, you would fake injury. And so, therefore, if your team picks, then you can send someone else to the free throw line to shoot those shots. In the NBA, if you can't shoot them, you can't check back into the game. And so I just like the fact that you can choose someone else to shoot it, but the players are able to come back in.
Well, he makes 1 of 2. So 16-11 BC. They have had the better of the play so far in these first 8 minutes over the number 3 team in the country. Patrick Gungba, the 6'11 freshman, getting some minutes early here for Duke. Foster lines up a long one. Again, a good look. It just didn't fall. The Blue Devils are cold here.
And the Eagles are doing a very good job of finishing the defensive possession, coming up with the defensive board, and getting themselves on the offensive end of the floor, keeping Duke off of the offensive glass.
Malowitz to check back in for John Shire here in a moment. Boy, tough pass. Hastings inside. It was Kelly curling that pass.
You nailed it, OB. Tough pass, but I love the fact that Hastings was available and looking for the basketball. That's a tough catch for a big guy sealing off, but only able to catch it and finish.
Points in the paint for the Eagles. That's the difference in the game. Proctor, nice give there, and it'll be dropped in. Gungba getting some points early.
Yeah, and the great hands by Gungba as well. The drop off was low. A bounce pass to a big guy like that, but both of our big guys right now, the reserves showing off their hand.
Duke without the services of Malik Brown. He's going to be out several weeks with a sprained knee. That'll go the other way. And a foul will go against Hastings.
Getting a little chippy between the big guys, and both of them getting it done on the offensive end of the floor. Hastings, they're going to go over and look at the foul, the offensive foul, and see if it's a hostile act against he and Gungba.
They've upgraded that foul on the freshman Jade Hastings moments ago to a flagrant 1. That is involving excessive or severe contact during a live ball that is unnecessary or avoidable.
And Obi, you see a little bit of arm wrestling between the two, but it's really more so to do with the swipe afterwards. Even though the elbow does make contact to Gungba, it's the swipe through afterwards. That's the excessive part of it.
The common foul at 10:59 was reviewed during the timeout. It's going to be upgraded to a flagrant 1 of 22. Duke will have 2 shots in the ball in their backcourt with 30 on the shot clock.
Gungba will shoot those.
And Ron Gruber explaining exactly what I was trying to say, but in a much better fashion.
I'm not so sure about that. That is the first foul shot attempt of the season for the freshman from Manassas, Virginia.
The Big Pat was injured, missed his entire senior year of high school, and then coming into Durham, unable to play right away, so having to rest. Misses both free throws, but does get the basketball back for the Blue Devils. And he was a guy that, with Malik Brown being out, they're going to need more minutes from Gungba. And so a great opportunity for him stepping up in a hostile environment.
Boy, it is that. And again, that is not said every night in this building, but this crowd is making a difference early on. The student sections in particular. Duke with the basketball. Foster trying to cut in. James over the top, and the slam. Malowitz getting back on the floor.
Great hands by Malowitz, however, giving Sion James just a target to be able to throw it anywhere, going to get it, and finishing off the slam.
Malowitz, a terrific effort against Miami Tuesday at Cameron with 15 rebounds. You saw that in person.
And that was coming off of his first career double-double, and a career high 19 points, so playing his best basketball. Especially without Malik Brown, John Shire going to have to lean on Malowitz a lot more to play even more minutes and stay out of foul trouble, where he just picks up one on that possession.
He did, trying to deny Venning, who's been trouble early on for BC. Last 3 games playing some great basketball, 14 points a game, 16 out of 19. He's making 80% of his shots for the year.
I know nothing about that, OB. Cut it in half, that's about my range.
Well, coming up on the halfway point of the first half, Cooper Flagg getting ready to check back in. And a nice touch there by Chaz Kelly. He'll knock it down.
Yeah, Chaz Kelly's a guy that Earl Grant and his staff were expecting more from coming into this year. But off to a great start here, playing so well, getting extended minutes.
Foster getting inside the lane, lost the handle on it, knocked out by BC with 7 on the shot clock. Here for Duke, Cooper Flagg back on. He's the reason this place is buzzing tonight. He and the red-hot Duke Blue Devils have ripped off 11 straight, longest current winning streak in Division I.
Obi, I tell you what, I am having a great time with my guys back here, the students here for the Boston. And one of my guys called that off of the knee.
Nice move here by James.
Of Caleb Boston. I believe they got it right. I'm not sure the officials saw that on that last possession, but it was great hands by Brown. I thought that went off the knee of Caleb Boston.
I know why you like hanging with these guys. You can compare SAT scores with them. The rest of us can't.
Not these guys. They are well beyond my range.
Payne, a determined move, got it up to the iron, but it won't fall, and Flagg with a rebound. He's averaging 8 a game along with 19 points, but he's been quiet so far. Proctor finds him. Flagg, kind of a choppy dribble. Great dish underneath for Mawach and the dunk.
But Cooper Flagg grabbing his neck, had a collision in the paint. Going to be interesting to see if that's something that affects him moving forward. When he was going for the loose ball, ran into one of the Eagles.
And again, looking for that cut to the basket, but this one knocked away by Duke. Evans will launch in transition, though. James grabs the rebound. Proctor, yes, nothing but net from three-point territory.
Always the best time to shoot the 3 ball off the offensive rebound. No one out there to even contest Tyrese Proctor, who knocks down his second 3 of the evening.
Duke with an 11-2 run to lead it by 2. McFarland at the logo. Here's Hand Jr. Benning again, getting a touch. Whoa, and a big move and 2 more.
And Benning got away with a little bit of a chicken wing on that one, OB. However, these officials have done a great job allowing the physicality throughout this game without allowing guys to get away with fouling.
Well, he makes 56% of his shots. That's where he lives. Flagg on the attack. Off the window, no. BC wants to run. Kelly to push it. And Kelly is going to be fouled by Tyrese Proctor, trying to hold him up. 7:42 to go in the half.
Tyrese Proctor off to a strong start here on the road. Off of the offensive rebound, standing at the top of the key, is able to knock down the 3-point basket. But on the other end of the floor, Chad Benning has been special. A little chicken wing, however, still a bucket in the paint.
Cooper Flagg, certainly the main event. Newport, Maine, population over 3,100. I mean, Cameron is 9,314. Gatorade Player of the Year as a freshman. And he's got a twin brother, Ace, who is older by, 1 minute? Mom, Kelly, and his dad, Ralph, who played at Eastern Maine Community College. And in Boston tonight, 210 miles from Newport, Maine, and a 3-hour, 25-minute drive. They were not alone. The Flags driving down because many came from Maine to watch him play tonight and packed this place at Conte Forum at Boston College. It is the hottest ticket in town. Good luck getting one late this afternoon. Over 8,600 tickets sold, going on Vivid Seats for over $1,300.
Well, and what most of the friends and family of Cooper Flagg did when tickets went on sale for Boston College games this summer, they bought a ticket package which included the Duke game, because that ticket package for 5 or more Boston College games was much cheaper than the $1,300 it would have cost them to get a ticket on the secondhand market to be able to watch this game. So I know over 75 different family members, friends, etc. purchased those. I'm not sure how many people it is in total, but I can tell you what, a lot of Newport, Maine is in the building here today.
And a couple dozen NBA scouts, too.
Oh, yeah. They're everywhere he goes, though. They're used to that.
And a lot of media credentials. Shot clock's down to 4. Kelly on the drive right there for 2 more. And a whistle on the play with 7:18 to go.
But one of the things you've seen from the Eagles, they have not been hesitant at all to attack the basket. And Chaz Kelly just gets Concanippo on an island. And with Malawach out of the play, is able to get to the rim. Malawach coming over and picking up the foul late on that possession, but late to be able to rotate, but can't leave a shooter on the perimeter.
Kelly looking for the 3-point play around and out. So it's Boston College by 2. I think many tuning in at this point are shocked at the score right now, but the Eagles have been the better team to this point.
But it shouldn't be shocking because you're on the road. I don't care regardless of what the records are, anything of the such. It is difficult to win on the road in college basketball. We saw that today. Tennessee going to Vanderbilt, losing. Iowa State losing at West Virginia.
Right.
It is difficult to win on the road. And, of course, with the Blue Devils, always going to get everyone's best shot, especially on their opposing team's floor.
Benning with the foul to put Flagg at the line where he makes 81%. Auburn barely held on today. Georgia had a chance to tie that game at the buzzer and missed one.
Asa Newell, Cooper Flagg's teammate at Montverde, had a great game, double-double, 16 and 10. And as you mentioned, had that chippy right at the end of the game to tie it up and send it into overtime, unable to get it to go, but strong performance from the Georgia Bulldogs at home against the #1 team in the country.
Alabama, big win earlier today as well. We saw them at Texas A&M in a real dogfight, win that one on the road.
Another 100-point game for Alabama. They've scored 100 points against ranked opponents 4 times this season. One of the best teams in the country.
Great game at Kentucky to pull out the win. This one tied at 24. Kelly being harassed by Proctor. Swings it out for McFarland. Shot clock inside 10 now for the Eagles, who won 20 games last year, went to the NIT. That 3 off the mark by McFarland. Duke trying to grab the lead here. Proctor at the head of the key. And that'll drop, and another sweet touch by Proctor.
Obi, this is the maturation of Tyrese Proctor, stepping up, making big plays for the Blue Devils on the road, already in double figures with 11 points, 4 or 5 from the field, and more importantly, 3 or 4 from beyond the 3-point arc.
Along with Caleb Foster, one of Duke's 2 returning starters from an Elite 8 team last year. And trying to make a move and lost the handle, draws the foul. Under 6 minutes to go here in the first half at Boston College. And the next SEC-ACC Super Tuesday basketball doubleheader starting on ESPN2 in Knoxville. Number 6 Tennessee hosting number 15 Mississippi State. That's at 7 o'clock Eastern time. And at 9 o'clock, R.J. Davis in North Carolina in Winston-Salem to battle Wake Forest. North Carolina losing in the final couple of seconds. Jalen Blakes used to play for Duke, broke their heart today.
Yeah, Jalen Blake's also in the mix for ACC's most improved player. The biggest jump from a scoring standpoint of any ACC player this year. And so getting a big win on the road in Chapel Hill. And the only guy I think that may be able to give Cooper Flagg some competition at the ACC Player of the Year level would be Maxime Reynaud for the Stanford Cardinals.
Kelly got a little separation, but the jumper clangs away. Duke starting to grab a little bit of momentum. Flagg with it, back up to James. Looking to penetrate, slams on the brakes, and takes a hit. And draws the foul by Benning. 6'9" grad out of Brooklyn, New York, will pick up the personal.
These will be the 5th and 6th free throws of the first half for Cooper Flagg. There's only 1 of 5 from the field, but still continues to be in attack mode. And, of course, his record-setting game where he scored 42 at ACC freshman record, he was 16 of 17 from the free throw line. And that's the characteristic that you look at from scorers. All great scorers get to the free throw line and take care of business once they get there.
81% for him. And none other than Coach K himself intoning this week. He feels he's the best player in America right now. And that ability to not just hunt shots for your teammates.
And that's the thing about Cooper. It's not about always scoring for him. He does whatever's necessary for his team to win. Against Miami, he had 13 points, but played an all-around game, but they didn't need him to score. When he scored 42 against Notre Dame, it was a game they won by 8 points. They needed all 42 of those. So he does whatever is necessary for his team to go out and get a win.
And against Miami, 13 points, but 7 rebounds, 6 assists in that contest, in that victory. Pull-up pop by hand, glancing off the iron. Brown went for the rebound, and it's knocked out of play with 5:09 remaining in the half. Duke a perfect 7-0 in ACC play. They have just been throttling teams. They buried Miami by 35 on Tuesday. They beat Pitt by 29, SMU by 27, Virginia Tech by 23.
Duke has a plus 22 margin of victory when it comes to all games throughout this season. So they've been dominant and, of course, got a number of big wins.
Hastings went up high and denied. Evans coming over. He committed the foul, stopping that possible spectacular dunk.
Yes, and again, a good foul. We talked about Hastings, who split 2 free throws earlier, but as you see Knipple and Gillis run into each other, give Evans a lot of credit coming over and forcing Hastings to have to earn it at the free throw line in comparison to the dunk that would have got this crowd going in DC's favor.
Hastings out of Orlando as Knipple gets together with John Shire. Hastings got his first college start at SMU back on December 21. He had 9 points. He comes in averaging about 3. And foul shooting is an issue for the youngster.
And already a good foul. Can be a great foul if Hastings doesn't take care of business with this free throw. Smart play by Evans getting over there and taking away the dunk.
And again, makes 1 of 2.
And you see the Eagles pressing up. This pressure is not to force a turnover. This pressure is to slow down the Blue Devils and take a little bit of time off as they initiate their offense with 20 seconds remaining. And this is a team that scores over 80 points, so they're used to playing fast.
James to the other side of the iron, and another missed layup for Duke. And there have been a bunch of those in this first half. And a whistle. It's going to be a traveling violation.
Josh Beadle just got a little bit of happy feet at the top of the key, found himself wide open, had a 3, elected not to take it, and trying to get downhill, turns it over for the 3rd time for the Boston College Eagles. How about Duke? 0 turnovers in this game. Their 5 points off turnovers are really the difference to this point.
Flag wants the ball, goes in strong for 2. No one was going to stop that one.
And again, when you put a bigger defender on him, he's going to drive past him. It's simply about does he finish when he gets to the rim. That time doing a great job against Hastings trying to guard him on the face-up.
The Flag has already been named ACC Player of the Week 3 times, Rookie of the Week 6 times. And good deny defense as he plucks it away. Made the save to Gillis, and then they fire it out, but terrific effort by Flag on the hustle.
But you see, getting his hand on the basketball, deflection, steals. It's not only about offense for Cooper Flag. The 3-quarter front coming up with it, and then the presence to be able to give the basketball up. That's going to be Mason Gillis's turnover and the first turnover for the Blue Devils here this evening.
He's like, hey, I did everything I could. Humanly possible, actually. 31-25.
Well, he's gotten rid of the nerves. He's settled in now. And again, it's, it's human nature when you're playing in front of all these people that you know and love coming to see you to make sure you want to have a strong performance. And really one of the first times we've seen nerves from Cooper. Didn't get off to the start we're normally seeing from him, but he's settled in now.
As sensational as he is, remember, he's 18.
A fresh 18.
Barely. As of December 21. Turnaround McFarland got a good look. No, a second effort now for BC. Duke has surged in front here these last 3 or 4 minutes. Brown getting into the paint. Nice spin with a left hand. Deion Brown, the transfer from Maryland, Baltimore County.
And this is a young man that averaged over 20 points a game last year. So coming in, he hasn't really been able to get his scoring touch going as Cooper Flagg has absolutely gotten it going now. Getting downhill to spin, the finish. OB, he was at the game last night at TD Garden watching Jason Tatum make plays just like this. So Coop channeling his inner JT for the bucket, the hoop, the harm, a free throw when we return.
They have taken a point away from the Duke Blue Devils. It was a 3 earlier, they said, for Sion James, and now made that a 2. So 32-27 our score.
And this is the type of environment that Malcolm Huckabee played in. Malcolm Huckabee and Howard Isley, Donya Abrams, of course, right across from us doing radio for the Boston College Eagles. And I'm extremely proud of the Eagles fans for showing up in this environment that they have created. Of course, when you got Duke coming in the building, it's easy to do. But the way that they have supported their players is a large part of the reason why they are in this first half against the #2 team in the country.
During the timeout, we reviewed a successful field goal made by Duke at 6:12. It was scored a 3. It has been reversed to a 2-point basket. The score above is the correct score.
And Flagg at the line as we come back out of the timeout with 3 minutes to go. Before the break here at Conte Forum. Miserable night outside. So that kind of adds to what you're talking about with the huge crowd here. A sold-out house. And a pretty major snowstorm coming into New England. I hope you get out of town.
I was about to say, don't say that too loud. You know I got a flight tomorrow morning.
The entire crew, except for me.
Hope you get to our game on Tuesday.
I know it. Those of us who know how to dig our way out of it, hopefully.
That's the second time Brown has been able to keep that pivot foot down. And multiple pivots to be able to get a bucket in the painted area. BC staying close, even though Cooper Flagg has started to pick up his production here over the last couple of possessions.
Meanwhile, Concanipolo is coming off 25. He was sensational the other night against Miami. Has been a non-factor. Evans trying to make a move and a foul at 2:30 left, and that'll be Hastings.
But as you mentioned that, OB, we asked Earl Grant earlier today in shoot-around, who do you have to slow down for the Blue Devils? And, of course, everyone would think that the answer is going to be Cooper Flagg. But that's not the answer, and I wouldn't expect that to be the answer because Cooper Flagg normally goes off in games that are close. But when Duke blows teams out, which they've done a lot, it's Con Knipple, it's Tyrese Proctor, it's the other guys who are able to get off. They blew Miami out on Tuesday because Con Knipple has a career-high 22 points, knocks down 5 threes. That's the area of concern for Earl Grant. He said plain and simple, Cooper's going to get his. There's nothing we can do about that. We've got to slow down the other guys.
Freshman out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, Isaiah Evans at the line. One of 92 McDonald's All-Americans that Duke has signed in their storied history. We should have just handed Coach K a McDonald's franchise after all of that success.
I believe he's got enough.
He just might.
But Isaiah Evans, you'll look back at the Auburn game and we have to say that's the Slim game because he was the one who saved them. The 6 threes in the first half of that game allowed Duke to get back into it and eventually win against the #1 team in the country at the time.
Benning trying to move underneath. He was the hot hand early. He'll draw the foul. As he is hit on the body with 2:14 to go in half number 1. Youngbo will pick up the personal. And so that will send Benning to the line where he can be a guy who struggles at only 64%. He's had some big games, 19 against Georgia Tech, 17 against Miami. The women's hoops Sunday afternoon doubleheader coming up on ESPN2, 1 o'clock Eastern. And that'll be Duke taking on Stanford, Duke number 16. And then at 3 o'clock on ESPN, South Carolina, number 2 in the country, battling number 13 Oklahoma.
How about my little sis Dawn Staley my little big sis Dawn Staley with the huge contract extension, $25.5 million, the highest paid coach in women's basketball history. I just need to hit her up, make sure I'm good for a $5 loan.
You and I both. Next time we're in Columbia, richly deserved. She's done a magnificent job.
Absolutely on her. We go to Columbia.
And a nice touch there for 3-point.
And Slim having some fun with the fans here behind us at Conte Forum. And, of course, No one appreciates that more than his teammate, classmate Cooper Flagg. He knows how dangerous Slim can be once he gets going.
So Duke by 8. Trying to open it up a little before the break here in Boston. And looking to tiptoe through. Gave it away. Nearly turned it over. Shot clock down to 4. McFarland will launch a long one and hit it. And McFarland, the grad out of Fort Lauderdale, he's a 1,000-point scorer in his career.
And that was a disastrous possession for BC, which ends up being a blessing in disguise with McFarland knocking down the 3-ball.
Knipple will kick it. Here's Evans with another look. And a second effort. Gunbuck keeping it alive. Flagg slicing in for the slam.
Early in the game, the Eagles did a great job of limiting Duke to one opportunity on possessions. The offensive rebound allows Cooper Flagg to finish strong and have his 15th point here in the first half.
McFarland just buried a triple. And to drive it into paint, and draws the foul. This was 6 on the shot clock. 21.8 on the first half clock.
Most guys would settle on the perimeter off of an offensive rebound and wait to be passed the ball. Cooper Flagg wants to get as close as he can to the rim because he loves to finish with authority, as he does on this possession. A nice find from Patrick Gumba to Cooper Flagg with the highlight flush, and 15 points for Coop here in half number 1.
Boston College entering tonight. Good foul shooting team is 74% so far. They are 4 for 8 after that make. And Foster will step out. James back on now for John Shire. And Hand Jr., outstanding foul shooter, leading the ACC at 91%. And a miss.
That's why I didn't say it.
Well, he had only missed 8 all season long. He's one of the best foul shooters in the country.
He absolutely is.
And a timeout.
Best in the country, 91%. I can tell you right now, his dad didn't shoot free throws like that.
We will take the break as well, just 16 seconds before halftime here at Conte Forum. Chilly to start. He was 1 for 5. He has started to heat up, though, now at 15.
And more importantly, he started to get downhill, 7 of 7 from the free throw line, putting the pressure on Boston College, trying to keep him out of the painted area. And I believe we're most likely going to see another attack by Cooper here to end the half. John Shire loves to get him the basketball right around the top of the key, maybe even as close as the free throw line, to be able to go to his right, getting to the basket. I'm sure the Blue Devils will have some type of action to get him a look with 16 seconds remaining here in the first half.
So Duke to put it in here, trying to add to a lead here that has expanded after an initial tough fight by the Eagles, and they're still hanging in close. Here's Flagg out at the logo. Flagg gives up the dribble. Proctor around and out. Got an excellent shot. That's how the first half comes to an end, with the Duke Blue Devils, number 3 in the country, leading Boston College 40-34. BC staying right with Cooper Flagg and company. Flagg leading the pack with 15 points. We are at halftime in Boston as we send it to Zubin Mehenti in the studio. Welcome you back to the beautiful city of Boston, Massachusetts. BC hanging there with the number 3 team in the country, the Duke Blue Devils. Dave O'Brien and Corey Alexander with you. Early on, it was BC getting the better of the play. They were getting it in the paint.
The points in the paint was good early, and when you consider Chad Benning going off for the first 6 points for the Boston College Eagles, he went to work in the painted area, and you could tell it was intentional for Earl Grant to get the basketball inside to challenge Kama Malawatch. And Benning was able to have success early. 9 points for him in the first half. Cooper Flagg didn't get off to a great start shooting the basketball, struggled, missed 4 of his first 5 field goal opportunities. But then the Cooper Flagg that we've grown to know and love showed up. Went to the basket, twirling, a good little love look, in the other direction, letting guys know you can't guard me, and then to finish with 15 first half points for Cooper Flagg. Ends up 4 of 9 from the field and 7 of 7 at the free throw.
Yeah, he pointed out he was getting to that foul line. BC did have an 18-11 lead, but Duke caught fire after that. Duke with only 1 turnover. Major reason they have this lead, but you wonder if the word has trickled into that huddle for BC that 18 of the top 25 teams have lost this week.
Well, you remember, you mentioned it in our open, the last time BC beat a top-ranked team, it was the Duke Blue Devils in 2017. Marvin Bagley and his crew coming in here and getting beat on this floor when they were the #1 team in the country.
Knipple gives it up for Proctor on the drive, trying to slither inside for 2 and a quick strike for Duke to open up the second half.
And Tyrese Proctor's been a difference maker. He's also in double figures now, 12 points for him. But more importantly, the way that he's approached this game on the road has really had a calming influence on the remainder of his team.
Joshua Beadle with the basketball. BC playing without one of their better scorers tonight. And Elijah Strong, 11 points, 5 rebounds a game. He is out sick. Given that, they've done a terrific job to stick around. Knipple dragging that foot. That's going to be a traveling violation.
But only the second turnover for the Blue Devils. Had only 1 in that first half, as you mentioned. So Kon Knipple, and you got to give the Eagles a lot of credit. They've held Knipple scoreless. Only 1 field goal attempt for him in 16 minutes of action. So that was the plan from Earl Grant, to try to keep him out of getting it into the scoring column, especially after a career high last time out.
Deion Brown to the paint, looking for the scoop. It'll roll off the iron. Benning battling strong, and that's how he opened up the ballgame.
Yeah, Benning back to his usual business. The offensive rebound, the putback, as Elijah Strong looks on, wishing he was on the floor to help his team. That's a big front line that you normally see for the Eagles.
Benning a transfer from St. Bonaventure. Cooper Flagg with a touch, spins and gets 2.
That's too easy. Josh Beadle, if you're going to double team, you got to get there, get the basketball out of Cooper's hands early. You give him that much time, he's going to pick you apart.
Flagg closing in on his scoring average, came in averaging 19 a game. McFarland hands off for Hand Jr. Shot clock down to 10 for BC. Benning with the shot. That clangs away. And it'll go in the opposite direction. It'll be Duke ball. And Cooper Flagg moments to go in the post.
And of course, you have to wonder whether it's time to go get him, because he's such a great passer. You're not sure if you want a double team to allow him to open up the 3-point shooters. But when he puts that basketball on the floor, you've got to get down there quicker to try to take Cooper Flagg away. Otherwise, he's going to destroy one of your teammates on the block.
Well, the Eagles have to be very wary of being in that danger zone that Duke can put you in so quickly in the opening seconds of the second half. Flagg again, not to be denied, off the window.
But so patient, he allowed everyone, and they're going to get, I believe we're going to have a flagrant 1 right there. McFarland with the chip shot to Cooper Flagg on the way out. Cooper trying to go back down the floor. After the bucket, Cooper Flagg just running back, and McFarland, no. Oh, wait a minute, that's the problem. The elbow going above the shoulders. Initially, I didn't think that was enough, but once you see the arm go above the shoulders, making contact with the face, that could very well be upgraded.
Excessive or severe during a live ball.
Well, I believe the excessive part was the arm coming up. I mean, that's not a natural motion. As you see the two bump into each other, but then yeah, I believe that was going to be up. I think that's going to be upgraded.
Marshner coming over to let us know that's what we're looking at here, and to see if there is a need to upgrade this.
But thanks to Mark Slur coming over and letting us know, if anything, it would be a dead ball technical foul. It would not be a flagrant 1 because the ball was not actually in play. So you're talking about a dead ball technical in comparison to a flagrant 1.
46-36, Duke. Give me another look here.
As you see it, though, OB, like the initial is nothing, but the contact to the face afterwards, and that's not a natural motion for the arm to come up, especially if you're just trying to get away from the contact.
Ron Groover, Mark Schnur, and Adam Flory, the outstanding crew tonight. After taking a look, they get together. Let's see what they come out of here with. And Flagg got hit in the nose, so stopping the bleeding. Not going to be the last time that happens to him. And Ron Groover going over to the mic as well.
Dead ball contact, technical foul. Dead ball contact,
So a dead
After
ball
review, we have a
contact
technical foul on Boston College number 3. Duke will shoot 2 and have the ball.
So a huge possession is Cooper Flagg not only gets the bucket, Duke has an opportunity to get 2 more points at the free throw line as well as the basketball back. So this could be as much as a 7-point possession for the Blue Devils.
So Flagg will go to the line where he makes 81%. He's actually been playing the best basketball of his freshman year against the best teams. Against Duke's top 4 opponents, he's averaging 21 a game.
And that's the thing, Obi, where we mentioned it earlier. He scores when they need him to score. When they don't need him to score, he's more of a facilitator and a playmaker. But when they need him to score, as they have throughout this game, he goes and gets buckets. 3 points on this possession alone, and an opportunity for them to even add to it. When you look at the numbers of Coop before and after his 21st birthday, another good look for Knipple, unable to get it to go, but his own offensive rebound.
Tough sledding for him, and that one's going to be swatted away by McFarland. Yeah, it's been a long night for Knipple after a great night against Miami. But Duke will have the ball back, and James to put it in for the baseline. Malawacz off the entry, backs in 2.
And it's a simple thing, and coaches teach it differently, so I'm not going to say that the Boston College defender did not do his job. However, it's easy to take away that pass on it. Just stand on the inside. Don't let him throw the basketball underneath your basket.
Brown with the scoop, yes.
This is an encouraging sign for Deion Brown. We talked about a young man who averaged 20 points a game a season ago at UMBC, averaging 6.1 throughout this year for the Boston College. They need him to be more aggressive on the offensive end.
That'll go the other way. That'll go against Malawacz, the 7'2" freshman.
And that's going to be 3 on Malawacz. And we have to continue to remind our viewers, no Malik Brown. So this Duke team is different without an all-ACC defender, Malik Brown, available. No timetable yet on his return. But Malawacz, now playing with 3 fouls, has to be extremely careful on this defensive end of the floor.
He's out with a sprained knee. No surgery required there. Hand with it up top. But James trying to stick to him. Done a good job on James to this point. Benning's been a different story, though, and a foul as well. He'll be off to the line.
And we just talked about it, OB. That's the 4th foul on Malawacz. And Benning has been extremely aggressive going at Malawacz. And that's something that Earl Grant told me earlier today. He knew that they had an advantage here. He knows how good Benning can be. Shooting at 55% from the field, 2nd in the ACC, continues to perform and had a great game thus far for the Eagles.
Benning, the grad from Brooklyn, at the line. Looking for a 3-point play here, just when it looked like Duke was about to start to blow out BC. And the Eagles spring back to life. And as you mentioned, Malawacz on the bench. Hector Gumba, the 6'11" freshman, now on for Duke. He hasn't played much this season. Proctor denied. Tapped away by McFarland. It comes free, and it rolls out off of Duke. That'll be BC ball.
How about the response from the Eagles? After what could have been a possible 7-point possession for the Blue Devils, That has only allowed Boston College to pick up their energy on the defensive end of the floor. Deion Brown getting after it. The ball goes off of Tyrese Proctor, regaining possession for BC.
Eagles just 9-8. Kelly up top, around and out. Just 1-5 in the ACC. But they're showing a lot of stick-to-itiveness tonight. James down the paint. Look for the bank shot. And a foul on the play. That'll go on Venning. So we are under 16. A timeout. Duke on top. Here at BC, 49-41.
Love, equality. These words embody one of history's greatest leaders. A leader who had a dream and changed the world. Thank you, Dr. King.
And this is a really cool one. On this date in history, January 18, 1958, 67 years ago today, Willie O'Ree becomes the first black player to play in an NHL game for the Boston Bruins against the Montreal Canadiens.
And of course, Boston, one of the areas to originally integrate. So you're talking about a area that's been progressive as far as integration. When you consider not only that, the Bruins, but also Boston Celtics. You think Bill Russell and everything that went into that. So
sure.
One of the first black pioneers to play in the NBA. So Boston has been at the forefront of integration in athletics and also in society.
Sion James will be at the line with 15:52 to go here for Duke, trying to break away here. That's been a lot tougher than maybe Duke anticipated tonight. He sinks number one. Duke's only losses by 5 to Kentucky and by 3 to Kansas, coming in at 15-2, 7-0 in the conference. They have been the class of the ACC without a doubt. He makes 1 of 2. Flag tried to keep it alive, but it pops to the Eagles.
And right now, if you're Boston College, this is the opportunity, especially after a timeout. Run something to get the basketball in the hands of Chad Venning. Allow him to be successful. He's been able to have his way throughout this game.
James coming over to double him up and tied him up on the play.
And Venning looking at his teammates wondering, hey, can somebody tell me that Sion James is coming up? Somebody got to yell it out. However, as loud as it's been in this building here tonight, maybe he wouldn't have heard him even if they had.
BC with the possession arrow. It's been loud. It's been lively, too, thanks to the outstanding effort by the students. Taken away here by Cooper Flagg. Bouncing for Knipple and a triple. Just hasn't been his night.
No, it hasn't been. 0 points coming off a career high 25 against Miami last time out. Just hasn't been able to get it to go.
Kelly slamming on the brakes. At the line, Venning on the spin move and draws the foul. He's been playing with a lot of energy in this game. The 6'9" grad fouled by Cooper Flagg. It's actually not going to go against him. It's going to go on Gungba instead.
That's going to be
Venning to shoot.
And that's going to be 3 on Gungba as well. So Malawat's already on the bench with 4. Now Gungba picking up his 3rd foul.
And a misfire on number 1. And tomorrow, ACC Network women's basketball, a quadruple header. Starts right here at Connie Forum at noon o'clock, noon Eastern. BC and Syracuse, and then number 19, North Carolina and Pitt, followed by Louisville and Virginia Tech. They capped off by SMU and number 3, Notre Dame. And Venning with his 2nd on target.
Boston College not great from the free throw line throughout this game. That's an area where they've struggled. Now 50%, 6 of 12, and a team that normally shoots much better from the free throw stripe, where every one of those is going to be key throughout this game.
James into the painted area, and 1. He'll be off to the line as he slices in for the basket.
Jon Scheyer talked about his connectors. The 2 connectors for the Duke Blue Devils, Sion James and Malik Brown. Of course, Malik Brown out. Sion James, the transfer in, who has taken over at the point guard position. And one of the guys that Jon Scheyer leans on from an experience standpoint, and also to settle the team when things are not going well.
Kelly with the foul. James making 75% at the line, and a three-point play. So the lead up to 11 for Duke. Deion Brown came in averaging just 6 points a game. Outside of Hand and Venning, they don't get a lot of scoring. Kelly slithers the pass inside and a whistle. 14:27 to go. That'll be on Cooper Flagg.
But that's the second time we've seen that pass, Obi. So it absolutely has to be something that they work on. It's a very difficult angle to deliver a pass, but when you expect the fact that the bigs are not only catching them, but expecting them as well, that has to be something that Earl Grant and his staff work on in practice. But it's unconventional, however, still effective as they're able to get the basketball in the hands of Venning once again.
Venning out of C. Bonaventure transfer, who was all A-10, scored nearly 1,300 points. So he knows how to get to the 10.
Earl Grant has been relatively reserved. I'm used to seeing him standing up in a defensive stance on the sideline.
James with a rebound, so it remains 10. Proctor thought about it.
Zone defensively from BC.
Flagg slams it in. Man, can he get up in a heartbeat.
As impressive as the finish was, I love the cut. He didn't stand on the perimeter waiting for the basketball to be thrown for him. He makes himself available as an option, getting into the painted area, just moving without the basketball, which is a strength for Cooper Flagg. It's often a struggle for many superstars, which Cooper absolutely is, but you just see just making himself available, finding the open spot, and of course, when he catches that close to the rim, he knows how to finish.
An exciting dunker. He's up for dunk of the year after what he did against Pitt at Cameron Indoor. I don't know if anyone will top that. We shall see, but just made another highlight reel play.
He's good for about at least one a game.
One a game anyway.
At least one a game.
Often more. So 55-43. BC again in one of those danger zones. Kelly over the top. Venning doubled up, and it's on the line with 6 on the shot clock.
So this is the area of concern, especially where you miss Malik Brown. Now Mason Gillis has to come in and play the 5 spot. So Venning with a tremendous size advantage over Gillis, although Gillis is extremely strong and difficult to post up. I think Venning can still have an advantage.
Flagg got a hand on it, tapped it out, and that cost a second. Not a seat to be had inside Conte Forum tonight. Completely sold out. The hottest ticket in Boston. You were at the Celtics yesterday.
Yeah, and speaking of hot ticket, the Blue Devils actually were in the building as well, watching 2 of their guys, actually 3 of their guys. Jason Tatum going up against Paolo Banchero as Cooper Flagg goes well above the rim for the rebound on that possession. With Jason Tatum, Paolo Banchero, Wendell Carter, of course, Mil Jefferson on the staff of the Boston Celtics. So a lot of Blue Devil love in the house last night.
Proctor lifting. Good clean look. Can't connect. Got the entire group over there, and you were doing double duty. NBA game last night. Big win for the Celtics. And a college game tonight. Here's Kelly straight on, around and out. And a whistle and a rebounding fray with 12:57 left. John Shire told me earlier today, you know, if the game today, this game had been like 1 o'clock, we never would have done this. But because it was tipping off late, 8 o'clock, it was a wonderful chance to get the whole team there.
But you see the picture with, of course, the Boston Celtics. You see Jason Tatum and Mil Jefferson right there in the middle. At shoot-around yesterday, I'm talking to Paolo Banchero, and he says, yeah, I'm going to have to bring the guys down to the locker room afterwards. And I looked at him and I said, you do realize you're going to have to share today, right? You're not at home.
Right.
And he thought about it for a while. He's like, oh, yeah, that's right. Got to share with JT.
Celtics, a very impressive win over there at TD Garden.
Celtics playing now as well, back-to-back at the Garden. last 2 days.
Out of the double. They'll swing for the corner. Great job finding the open man. It happens to be Isaiah Evans to cash in.
AKA Showtime Slim, knocking down another three. And the thing about Slim, he always knows where to find the opposing team's student section for his little bit of in-your-face celebration.
Likes to do it. 46% from three-point land, so he's getting used to it. Way downtown looking to answer, not there for Payne. And now it begins to slip in Duke's favor in a big way.
Yeah, important possession for BC right now. Duke with a 15-point lead. Media timeout at the next dead ball. You don't want to allow the Blue Devils to continue to build on this before you can reset.
Flag tried to get his way through the double and draws the foul. So just under 12 minutes. Boston College has gone 4.5 minutes since their last field goal. Duke defense clamping down. Duke's really hot. 11 in a row. Their longest win streak since 17-18. 7-0 in the ACC. First time since 07-08 when they went 10-0. And 6 ACC wins by at least 20 points. They are just blowing people out. They're trying to do the same thing tonight here at Boston College.
And Jon Scheyer was the only year he came off the bench during his Duke career. He started all games as a freshman, came off the bench as a sophomore, and then went back in the starting lineup as a junior and senior. Was coming off the bench the year that they won 10 straight to start off ACC play. As you see now, an opportunity to get to 8-0 here this evening.
Off the inbound, banked in by Proctor, and a whistle too. Very athletic play there is Payne fouled.
Yeah, but Proctor's been a difference maker tonight. We go back to him banking in the three early in the game, but he's been able to get it going on the offensive end of the floor. And just, rule of thumb, who's the guy that's often going to be open? It's the screener. Tyrese Proctor with the back screen. It really was a faux screen right there, trying to get some misdirection going, and then opens right up to an open lane to get the hoop and the harm opportunity for the M1.
Junior from Sydney, Australia, makes 77%. And a three-point play. And Duke's starting to settle in to look very comfortable.
They really are, and they're going to go with Hastings coming into the game. They're going to go with the two big lineup now for Boston College. With Duke with a smaller lineup on the floor with none of their centers out there. Cooper Flagg, the tallest guy. Mason Gillis playing at the 5 spot.
Luka Tavis from Tokyo, Japan with the ball up top here. And swings it. 9 to get up a shot for the Eagles. His defense just swarming on a penetration attempt.
And Hastings has an advantage inside. They just can't get him the basketball.
Boy, forced an ugly shot and never touched the iron. 11:26 remaining. So back over to Duke it goes. On a shot clock violation. Well, Earl Grant's team able to hang on. Maybe longer than most anticipated. As you mentioned, I mean, they're at home. And they were able to play some really good basketball in the early minutes of this game. But they have cooled off. A lot of that's because of Duke's defense and an 8-0 run.
That's exactly what it is, OB. Duke, not only one of the better offensive teams in the country, but absolutely at the top of the charts when you talk defensively, what they've been able to do.
That'll be a charge on Flagg, an offensive foul. The 6'9" rookie.
Cooper Flagg had 6 turnovers last time out. That's his first turnover in the game today. And so something that he's cleaned up in the few days since we saw him last. But again, aggressive turnovers, Jon Scheyer will never mind. Cooper's still trying to get downhill, even with the 18-point lead.
He has 22, Flagg does. Davis looking to make a move off the glass, but no. Proctor with the rebound, and he'll take a tumble. Foul here against Boston College, and they'll look to separate.
And this is the second time Hastings has been involved in a scrum. This time with Mason Gillis both trying to go after a rebound, and they get caught up. But you see right here, The officials not going to go, well, let's see. I don't believe they're going to go over and look at anything here, fortunately.
Yeah, they do get Hastings for the foul. And that's number 4 on the big freshman. Again, he played well early. He was involved in a nice surge for the Eagles, but he has also chilled out and now in serious foul trouble.
And Mark Snur is at the monitor, just checking it out. He's holding up the free throw right now to make sure there was nothing extracurricular there. Oh, he was actually looking to see who the foul was on.
So it'll be Proctor to the line. Proctor coming up 18 minutes against Miami. Very clean game. 9 points, 4 assists. He had no turnovers. Also had a really nice one in the win over Auburn with 11 points and no turnovers.
And now 16 points for him. Only 1 turnover here tonight, but efficient. 6 of 9 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. As Earl Grant looks on, and just as you mentioned, this started to get away from his team, where they put up such a strong effort in the first half of this game. Treating their fans to a great experience here, but let's face it, this is a really good Duke Blue Devil team. You knew they were going to settle in at some point, especially on the defensive end.
Benny with a handoff for Hand. Back down to the big. And can't convert it. Those are the shots that were going early and often for Boston College. And a foul will go against BC and Hastings. That's number 5 on him. Mason Gillis in some pain. Got hit on the back of that head.
Hastings coming through and unable to get the offensive rebound. Swinging through with that left arm. Making contact to the back of Mason Gillis's head. I believe they're going to go check this one out to make sure there's nothing extracurricular there.
Previous play is under review.
It's been commonplace in this game tonight. A lot of reviews.
Yeah, there's been a lot of reviews. It's been a very physical game. And as Hastings comes down with that, making contact with the back of the head, he immediately recognizes it and tries to, console Gillis. And I believe that's part of the reason why the officials come away quickly with that one, saying that there's nothing there, just the common foul.
So no upgrade.
After review, the play stands as called, common foul.
And sends Gillis to the line. Tonight, by the way, his 150th college game between Duke and Purdue.
That's a lot of experience. 150 games is a lot of experience. And, John Shire talked about Mason Gillis, who he's playing some now at the 5 spot at the center position, a guy that played alongside the Wooden Award winner a year ago. And Zach Edey at Purdue played in the national championship game. I'm not sure that he ever thought that he would be playing the center position with the Blue Devils, but John Shire made it very clear. He doesn't stumble, he doesn't balk at anything. Whatever you need me to do, I'm here to try to help this team win. And Mason Gillis absolutely stepping up in the presence without Malik Brown into that 5 spot and playing well.
All he's done is win pretty much 79% of the games he's played in. He's won a record of 118 and 31.
Wow, he'll win more games than most college players ever play.
True enough. So Duke opens it up 65-43. In a game that was very competitive until the early minutes of this second half here in Boston.
But you have to look at OB. BC's only scored 7 points in the second half. They've had success when they've been able to get the basketball to Benning as DJ Hand is able to knock down the 3, but the leading scorer for Boston College really unable to get going here against their stingy Duke defense.
Came in averaging 15 points a game. Duke has done good work on him as they do so many top scorers. Knipple directing traffic. He's had a really quiet night, but his teammates caught fire and they now have a sizable lead. Proctor pulls up and pops, can't nail it. Davis with the ball, 6'1" freshman, whose cousin Jonathan won a Stanley Cup playing for the Blackhawks. Benning, shot clock to 7. Here's Brown. Well, had a good-looking shot, came off the hand in good shape, but couldn't nail it. Cooper Flagg getting ready to check back in now for Jon Scheyer. Here's Gillis after taking a shot in the back of the head. Looks like he shook that off. Here's Evans. He can't stick it. Off the back of the iron it goes. So under 9 here at Conte Forum. Duke trying to win their 12th in a row. They have the longest winning streak active in Division I. Davis around the back and reaching a foul with 8:33 to go. And he'll be fouled by Mason Gillis.
Going to be a cheap one by Gillis right there, which could put BC at the free throw line. And really, that's been the only way they've been able to really get anything going in the second half offensively. Duke has absolutely locked down on the defensive end of the floor throughout the second half of the game. Now BC up to 12 points in half number 2, but it's been a struggle, especially from the field.
Now the freshman
of 7 from the three-point line. 26%. That's going to be tough to beat the number 3 team in the country.
Duke playing great basketball coming in. And trying to go to 16-2 on the season. Foster. Trying to get it downstairs and picked off. The steal by Beadle. Here's Hand Jr. working on Cooper Flagg. A little bounce there, short. Flagg on the move, the All-America candidate. Going in strong and will draw the foul. And about to shoot 2 with 7:52 to go.
Well, Cooper Flagg has been in attack mode all evening long, especially when he catches it from a nice dish from his friends. And let me tell you who loves it most. That will be my girl, Kelly Flagg, husband Ralph, in attendance here, checking out their son.
The Hall of Famer Dick Vitale, who's scheduled to come back from cancer and work next week, and that's not going to happen now. But at the end of his announcement, I thought, brought a smile to my face and everybody else when he said, "Go Irish."
I'm with Dickie V. I'm going with the Irish as well, the Golden Domers. So I'm looking for the Irish to get their next national championship. But that's going to be a great game. Going to be a tough one as well. Ohio State's playing great football.
They are. Monday night, Flagg at the line after a miss on number 1. And drops in the second end to expand the lead for Jon Scheyer and company to 66-48.
See Chris Carrawell beside Jon Scheyer. The last time the Blue Devils were on the road, Jon Scheyer did not accompany the team to Dallas, taking on SMU. Chris Carrawell coached the team and got his first win as a Duke head coach.
Benning rolling inside, Flagg with the stop.
And again, that's what he does. It's not all about what he does on the offensive end of the floor, defensively making big plays as well.
Evans with a long one. Yes, what a great touch.
But Coop knows what's going to happen. Once he makes the pass to Slim, he knows it's going up. He's got an assist. Already got his arms in the air, signaling it's going to be a made 3.
Evans, a freshman, McDonald's All-American. He plays with a lot of joy. McFarland jumping into the paint. No, and a whistle. 7:06 shown on the clock. Isaiah Evans launches those. He knows they're in the basket before they come off his fingertips. Gungbo with the personal.
And Gungas will pick up his 4th foul as Khaman Maluach will step back into the game. We haven't seen Maluach in quite some time, as both the bigs for the Blue Devils have gotten themselves in some foul trouble here trying to defend Benning throughout this game.
Roger McFarland at the line. And here comes the big guy. Malawach, the 7'2" freshman from South Sudan. And again, terrific effort against Miami on Tuesday. 15 rebounds, a career high. Also chipped in with 12 points.
Consecutive double-doubles for Malawach. Not sure he'll get there in this one. 8 points, only 3 rebounds for him, but has battled through foul trouble in this game.
Back to Evans, wants to launch again. He's hot. And loves to play with the crowd.
But he knows where all the students are. He's not talking to anyone except for the BC students. He knows where they are in the end zone, right behind us. So, of course, has his celebrations already set because, as you mentioned before, when he lets it go, he always thinks it's going in.
Came in 28 for 61 from 3. Brown on the drive, swatted away by Flagg again. Couple of blocks for him. And a whistle. And Flagg dumbfounded. That's a technical, I think.
Well, I believe he may have had a little something to say as Kelly's not happy about it. She's wondering what, but he may have had a little something to say after the block shot.
So Brown will go to the line to shoot them for Boston College. And Flagg teed up. Let's go back and take a closer look if we can.
So as he comes from pretty much out of nowhere, blocks the shot. Well, we don't see anything there. I'm not sure if he had something to say afterwards.
As he chased down the loose ball after his block.
He didn't say anything.
Didn't look like it.
I'm with Ralph and Kelly on this one. I'm not sure what the technical. There maybe was something said, but it wasn't Cooper.
So Duke on top, 72-50, and the ball. We approach the 6-minute mark here at Boston. Evans again, operating inside, and Benny with the block. Flagg from 3. Yes.
Let me tell you this, OB. He has something to say after that one. No question about it. He let everybody know the Blue Devils are in the building. And yes, you are getting your first look at this year's #1 pick in the NBA draft.
26 points tonight.
First time this season, Conte Forum here at Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts, was sold out to see Cooper Flagg, and he has not disappointed. Continuing to attack the basket throughout this game, finishing at a high level, also knocking down a 3 just for good measure. Got a technical foul for not saying anything. However, he lets his feelings be known after the 3 ball.
Drop it in for Benning and a quick strike for BC. But it has been once again the Cooper Flagg show by and large here for the Duke Blue Devils. That man from Maine. This is as close as most New England fans who love college basketball are going to get to him here in Boston tonight in this ACC game. About a 3.5-hour drive from his home in Newport, Maine for friends and family. He'll drive it in tight and bank in 2 more.
And is able to, comes away with a little slight flex after absorbing the contact and finishing at the rim, up to 28.
Benning making a move to his left. That's a tough angle and draws the foul. That's going to be number 5 on Malawach. So he's fouled out with 5 minutes to play.
Cooper Flagg, 28 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks. We didn't have enough space to put his steals on there, but I know he has at least 1. So you talk about a young man who is leading his team in all 5 categories. And leading in top 10 in the ACC in all 5 categories as well. So we mentioned in our open, only Ben Simmons in 2016. Over the last 25 years, only Ben Simmons has done that as well, led his team in all 5 of those statistical categories. So you're talking about rarefied air for what we're watching with Cooper Flagg.
Well, the foul switches to Evans and not Malawat, so he remains in the game. And Benning on target to make it 77-53.
Let me correct that, the only freshman to lead his team in all 5 of those categories.
So under 5 to go here in Boston. The crowd beginning to thin out at least a little bit. Cooper Flagg and the Duke Blue Devils exploding in the second half. Knipple working hard. Here's Flagg with shot clock to 5. Proctor around the back will launch it and nail the triple.
Big time performance from Tyrese Proctor. It may get lost behind the attention paid to Cooper Flagg, but now Proctor with 20 points, 7 of 11 from the field and 3 of 7 from beyond the 3-point arc. He's been special, and he's also taken on the challenge of guarding DJ Hand, who hasn't been able to get on track. Well under his average per game for the Eagles.
Well, John Shire is going to use the opportunity to get some guys into the game who don't play a lot. Proctor denied, and a good block by Benning. And Junior. And will knock that in from mid-range. So 80-55. First half was very competitive. Second half has not been. And a timeout. We'll take the break with 3:40 to go here at BC. It has been all Duke since the break at Conte Forum. The Mainers coming quite a ways to see Cooper Flagg, who's out of Newport, Maine. And they've been loving what they've seen in this one from the youngster, who's piled on with 28 points. He's also chipped in with 4 assists and just a couple of turnovers. Is he the player of the year right now?
Right now, I believe he absolutely is, and you consider Janai Broome out injured, who would be his biggest competition. And Cooper Flagg having a spectacular year. We've talked about the numbers, but it has more to do with his impact on winning.
Knipple lost the handle. It's knocked out of play off of BC.
And Kon Knipple still in the game right now, and I'm sure Jon Scheyer trying to get him to build some confidence. Knipple with 0 points has not made a field goal and still scoreless. Jon Scheyer does not want this to be a game where Knipple walks away without getting in the scoring column.
It was 9 for 11 in Tuesday's victory over Miami. 6 out of 8 from 3. You saw that in person. Different story here tonight in Boston.
Yeah, the Eagles have made life difficult for him, but so many other guys have stepped up when you consider the production of Cooper Flagg and Tyrese Proctor, both over 20 points in this game.
That jump shot will go by McFarland. 1,000-point scorer out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. But under 3 to go, and all Duke here since halftime. And that'll go the other way. Hey, the next SEC-ACC Super Tuesday basketball doubleheader starts on ESPN2 in Knoxville. Number 6 Tennessee taking on number 15 Mississippi State, and then at 9 R.J. Davis in North Carolina in Winston-Salem to take on Wake Forest. North Carolina losing in the final couple of seconds earlier today. Foster will pick up the foul. That'll be number 2 on Caleb. Tavis to the line, the 6'1" freshman, whose dad is a longtime basketball coach in Japan. And we'll get another.
So grew up around the game, of course, and long way from home. However, finding a home here in Chestnut Hill. A number of the international players have had at least one international player on their team for the last 11 consecutive years.
Harris will bounce to the top of the key, and Gungba got a lot of minutes in this one. Here's Harris to launch. No, that didn't touch anything. And a foul will go against Duke. So Mason Gillis will pick up the personal.
Josh Shire still trying to figure out how that was a foul on Gillis. All I saw was Gillis on the inside. I didn't see how he got there.
Well, you know, if you figure that one out, I'd love to know why Cooper Flagg got a technical foul earlier tonight.
That is also a question. I am almost positive it's because of something that was said. Now, we watched Cooper after the block, and he didn't say anything.
No.
But I'm sure when the block happened, there was something said. There's a term that is often used that refers to getting that shot out of here. And I'm sure it was used, but it didn't seem to be Cooper who said it.
Did not appear to be. Evans will line up a long one, and that's off the front iron. Evans with another one. Rare to see him miss 2 in a row.
Yeah, that ball couldn't get in his hands fast enough. He was waiting to let that one go.
And on target from three-point land. Not been his night. He came in averaging 15.7 rebounds a game. The Eagles' top scorer. They needed a big effort out of him, like the 29 he got against Farley Dickinson earlier.
Yeah, and just unable to really get loose. But, I mean, this is what Duke does. They take your top scorer and oftentimes just pretty much get them out of the game. Just on Tuesday, Matthew Cleveland came in averaging over 20 points per game in his last 6 games. He only had 2 points. Oh!
Up top, Van Gungba with the slam.
Get up, Big Pat. I didn't know he had that in this game, but Caleb Foster absolutely knew. Put it in right position for Gungba to finish it off.
82-63, the Blue Devils. Davis' shot doesn't hit anything, and out it goes. Back over to the Blue Devils with 1:13 to go. So Duke about to win their 12th in a row and go to 16-2 and 8-0 as the class of the ACC. And tonight showing up here in Boston at Connie Forum in front of a jammed house. Every seat taken. Hottest ticket here in the city of Boston. And they had a fight on their hands for 20 minutes, but not after that.
They absolutely did. Give Boston College a lot of credit for the way they attacked this game, followed the game plan in the first half, got the basketball inside, and really exposed the Blue Devils in the paint. Got Malawatch in foul trouble. He eventually fouled out. Gungba playing with 4 still. But the perimeter players for the Blue Devils just too much. You see them side by side. Cooper Flagg, Tyrese Proctor. Although Conklin was unable to really get going here tonight, they still had more than enough between that combination of starters to get them a big win here on the road.
Now Duke scoring well over 80 points a game and holding opponents below 60. They've come very close to those 2 again. It's been like clockwork for them to be blowing out opponents one after another, and that's how this one will go into the books tonight.
We talked about the plus 22 scoring margin. Right now with a 21-point lead, the Blue Devils could still stay in that range.
Evans airborne, nicely done on the scoop.
You know that as long as Slim is on the floor, they're going to continue to try to score. The Blue Devils, who average 81 points per game, now at 86.
Well, for Duke, an impressive second half as they take off and run away. And we'll get the slam here by Gillis for the exclamation with 6 seconds to go.
And John Shire did not want that. Under 10 seconds, he absolutely did not want that.
Well, he did like much of what he saw tonight, no question about it, as Duke rolls to a victory, their 12th in a row, as they knock off Boston College 88-63.
And a strong performance, as you mentioned, the 12th straight win for the Blue Devils, the longest winning streak in Division I basketball.
Cooper Flagg leading the way with 28. Proctor with 20. Coming up next, Path to College Football Playoff presented by AT&T as we say goodnight from Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts.
This week